Welcome to Behind the Mic with AudioFile magazine. I'm Joe Reed, and I have publisher of AudioFile, Michele Cobb, with me. And if Michele is here, we can stand on one thing. We will have a theme.
That is true. And well, this week's theme is surprising choices.
Okay, I like that theme.
So do I. And it turned out they all had surprising choices. So,
Okay.
yay.
Okay, let's start at the very beginning. Who's Monday?
Run by Blake Crouch, read by Scott Brick.
Aha. Blake Crouch to me always has the most interesting name. I mean, he wrote Dark Matter and he wrote the Wayward Pine books. I mean, he's a prolific writer. So tell me about his new one.
This is an earphones winner, and it isn't actually new. It's a re release of a title that he self published a number of years ago. And this listen had me on the edge of my seat.
You?
Yes, me.
Oh my God. Then where would it have me?
This is not a Joe Reed listen.
Okay.
The basic premise is that a violent epidemic of rage is suddenly overtaking America, and there's lots of killing.
Okay.
Our protagonist, Jack, hears his name on a kill list on the emergency broadcast system. So he goes on the run from Albuquerque with the goal of making it to Canada with his wife and his two kids.
See, now I like that premise.
Yes, but this is not for the faint of heart. I was listening to this as I was walking around a quiet neighborhood, and it caused me to cross the street to avoid anyone.
Really?
I did not want to be near any other humans because this is a book about humans hunting humans. So I didn't want to be hunted, and that's the way I
Wow.
felt.
Okay. And is it graphic?
It's about running for your life and it's graphic. And there are lots of injuries and horrifying events, including scenes of torture. So just be
Oh, that's
forewarned.
yes, and that's a really, really good thing to forewarn people about, like me.
But I have to say, it's less than 9 hours, and I powered through it over one weekend. I was so engrossed in it that at the 90-minute mark, I actually texted Scott Brick to tell him how much I was digging it. And he said that the director and the producer were in a little disagreement. Was the book beautiful or brutal?
Is it beautiful?
It is, because it's about choices that you have to make. In this case, someone is trying to protect his family. And it makes you think about how far is too far. It was kind of an exhausting listen, and Scott actually confirmed that he had to decompress each day after he recorded because it's quite intense. But Scott really captured the essence of the main character, and we go on this physical and moral journey with him. And it's important that we hear the emotional moments so we understand why he's making surprising choices, because the main character really does. But I really enjoyed is the wrong word. I mean, I was really into this book.
Compelled.
I was compelled. Yes, it was a very compelling listen to me.
Well, can we listen?
Yeah, this is a little bit from the crisis beginning.
Okay, this is Run by Blake Crouch, read by Scott Brick.
Everywhere that human remains have been exposed, red flags stand thrust into the earth. She stops counting them after 30. The nearest anthropologist is on the verge of pedestaling a skeletonized body, down to the detail work now, poking chopsticks between ribs to clear out the dirt. Other skeletons lie partially exposed in the upper layers. The remnants of human beings with whom she will become closely acquainted in the weeks to come. Deeper, the dead are likely mummified, possibly even fleshed, depending on the water content of the grave. Next to the autopsy tent on the other side, tables have been erected in the grass, and at one of them, a woman she recognizes from a previous UN mission is at work reassembling a small skeleton on a black velvet cloth to be photographed. She realizes she's crying.
Scott Brick is really good at characters, and I actually like his characterizations better than his narrative voice typically, because he really is wonderful at inhabiting the characters that he presents.
Yeah, and I think this character is in some ways kind of similar in tone to him as a person. And, he cares about his family very much, as this character does. And it's a real, honing in on of that.
Okay. That is Run by Blake Crouch. It's read by Scott Brick, and it is an earphones winner. Michelle, thank you so much. Support for Behind the Mic comes from Harper Horizon, publisher of the new audiobook Friendly Fire, a fractured memoir, based on a gut-wrenching stranger-than-fiction tragedy. Available everywhere you get your audiobooks. Make sure you follow Behind the Mic wherever you get your podcasts. Leave us a rating because honestly, it really does help people to find us. I'm Jo Reed. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Harper Select is the sponsor of today's episode of Behind the Mic.